So explain this to me with Jerry's logic of the Dallas Cowboys right now, because now it's becoming a real thing. Most networks, most radio or TV hosts, they try to troll people and always include the Cowboys. Well, now it's becoming something because CeeDee Lamb is holding out. Dak has to kind of explain why he's not being extended. And Jerry's telling us that they don't have a lame duck coach in Mike McCarthy. So what is real and what gets real bad anytime soon?
And I'll add another one to that, Dan, which if this were another team in another situation would be being talked about a lot more. I think Micah Parsons is probably the best defensive player in the NFL. Certainly if you look at the last 3 years and you combine those 3 years, if I were him, Dan, and I know that I'm worth $35 million a year, I'm not taking the field this year without a new adjusted contract. Are you kidding me? He should be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. The guy is ridiculous. And I don't really know what Jerry or Stephen Jones are talking about. When Jerry continually talks about playing option quarterback, to me, that's kind of insulting. I guess what he's saying is he wants the opportunity to move on from Dak. He wants the opportunity to not have to pay CeeDee Lamb. It's like, hey, Jerry, they're kind of your best players. They're top 5 at marquee positions in the league. And then Stephen Jones makes it sound like it's impossible to pay, more than one player. He's like, well, the Vikings, they pay Jefferson, but they're not paying anybody else. They just paid Christian Darrisaw, the second highest paid left tackle in the league. Dan, the Eagles, have a $50+ million quarterback. They have 2 wide receivers making over $20 million a year, well over $20 million a year. They have the second highest paid running back in Saquon Barkley, and they have three offensive linemen making over $20 million a year. It can be done. The earlier you do it, the easier it is to plan for it and structure it and plan around it. When Stephen Jones acts like they're in this like Rubik's Cube impossible situation, all you have to look at is the other really good team in the division, which doesn't have any contract issues because they take care of it well in advance.
And that's what I've said before with Jerry. He did this with Dak before. And the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost you. CeeDee Lamb, as soon as A.J. Brown got his deal in Philadelphia, I would have said, hey, come on in. Here's the numbers. Paid him then. If you want to get out ahead of Michael Parsons, maybe you could have done that. But, now it's going to be $35 million. Dak, could you have done this a long time ago? Then the answer is yes. Now, if I'm Dak, I say, well, let me see what, Trevor Lawrence is going to get or Justin Herbert's going to get. I would have played the long game there. But I get the feeling that Jerry is willing to move on from Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, not necessarily CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons.
I would agree with that. I think that there's some level of frustration with the lack of playoff success that the Cowboys have had under Dak Prescott as the quarterback. And, I don't think they will verbalize this, but I think their thought process is, hey, if he plays great again and we win a couple playoff games, if we finally get back to a conference championship game or maybe even a Super Bowl, then we'll pay him whatever. They have more money than any other team. They can give a $150 million signing bonus and spread out over 6 years. They're not worried about somebody outbidding them for Dak. I think that they are thinking, are we sure this is what we want to do? They're going to give him one more year. If he still can't get it done, I think they might go with someone else, Dan, for less money and say, listen, we can lose playoff games with somebody else with the roster we have.